Guys, welcome back. It's Shelby, and this is probably the best lighting I have ever filmed in. As you can see, I'm not at home, but I'm literally just in front of a window, but it's much more evenly distributed light than I find at home and just so much better. So kind of jealous that this can't be my filming area all the time because it's pretty great. But I am coming to you from a lovely bedroom that I am staying in during my visit here to California. And this video I know is not going to be posted right when I get back, probably. Like it might wait a little bit, and that's just based on the contents of the video. But I have been receiving a couple questions. I won't say it's like a lot of questions or a lot of you guys are asking or I have so many questions. Like I don't, it's just like a handful, if I'm being honest. But I figured I would address the questions because if you have the questions, then clearly you want answers to them. So it doesn't matter if one person's asking or a million people are asking, you know, if it's helpful and you guys find the answers helpful and have the answers, why not share them? So basically they are kind of advice or tips and tricks for young, not young, but like young or old, doesn't matter, but basically newer, smaller channels for YouTubing. If you're just starting out or maybe you're like me and you've been doing it for a year or two. I've been doing it almost 2 years. And my channel's like taking off like crazy compared to how it was the first year when I started. But it's still pretty small. Like, you know, it's great and I'm ridiculously excited and grateful for it. But, you know, it's not a large channel. It's just kind of nice and easily growing. And, you know, a lot more of you guys are discovering my content and subscribing. And I can't tell you how like grateful and thankful I am for you. And yeah, it's been wonderful. But I have had a couple questions just regarding what I personally do to keep on track, film videos, make sure that I don't fall behind, what my filming and, you know, editing and posting schedule is, why I have that schedule. So I figured I would make a video to tell you guys about it, and then you have the answers, at least my answers and what I do. It might not be right for you, but it's worked for me so far. So basically, I guess I'll just like answer the questions going in order, I guess, which is just when I post and why I post at that time. So when I post is Monday and Friday, 5 p.m. I've done it for almost 2 years. I'm really hoping to not mess that up in the future. The reason I post Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. is it really doesn't matter when you post. Like it could be Tuesday and Wednesday, it could be just Wednesdays, it could be every single day. It doesn't matter when you choose to post. It matters that you are consistently posting. At least that's what I read. That's what I saw. I did a lot of research before I started my channel, just watched everything I could on it. Did you know that YouTube actually creates content for YouTubers that are starting out or just, you know, want to hone their craft? So it's basically like tips and tricks and insight into how to make the YouTube algorithm work better for your videos. I find that really helpful, like that content channel really helpful. They're just small videos on like how long should your videos be and why lighting's important and like when should you post. Like it's just, it's helpful, it just is. So check that out. And basically I chose Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. just randomly. That just seemed like a good time to do it. But from everything I've read and watched as far as the algorithm liking you, basically you just have to be consistent. Like because I chose Monday and Friday at 5, I need to continue posting Monday and Friday at 5. Like none of this like, well, I'll post on Saturday instead of Friday. None of this like, well, 5:30 is close to 5 or like 7, or I'll just post in the morning. Like my video launches at 5. That doesn't mean that I need to be on the computer and hit post. Like it's not private public. I mean, they have that, but they also have a scheduler. I would definitely suggest using the scheduler. It's just helpful, honestly. And a lot of times I'm not as good at this. My next tip that I try so hard to do myself, but honestly I'm not even that good at it, is to maximize the scheduler. Film your videos in advance, edit them in advance, upload them. Don't have them hit until the scheduled time. And I try really hard to have like 3 or 4 videos in the backlog so that if something happens and I can't film over a weekend, I'm not completely out of luck. Honestly, it doesn't happen much. Like maybe 5 times have I had, you know, like some backup videos, which has been great because they've always fallen on times when I really needed them. Either I wasn't home for the weekend unexpectedly, couldn't film, equipment broke, or just personal reasons, whatever happened, like I could not actually physically film. And then I wasn't out of a video or out of luck with the algorithm because I had a video already filmed. You know, sometimes it was pre-edited, sometimes I needed to edit it and I just had the raw footage, but like, hey, it works. And then you're not messing yourself up 2 years into it, posting consistently Monday and Friday, and then all of a sudden you start missing your schedule. So, you know, kind of film a few videos in advance. For me, and I never have this, like never have this, but if I have 4 videos in advance, I feel pretty comfortable because that's 2 weeks. Like I have 2 weeks, I can usually film something in 2 weeks. So that's just where I feel super comfortable with having a backlog of videos. And it literally never happens. Like I never have 4 videos saved up. Sometimes I'll have 1 and I feel pretty good, 2, 3, or I will get to that 4, but it's for a specific event. Like when I was coming to California, this is where I'm at. I'm in California. I will probably definitely be back in Minnesota by the time this video airs. Yeah, just try to film as much in advance as you can. When I knew I was coming on this trip, I filmed 4 videos in advance, edited them, posted them, and it took a while. Like honestly, like filming, editing, and posting videos, it's not difficult. Like YouTube isn't difficult to do, but it's time consuming. So like when you have a full-time job like I do and you're planning a trip and you've got like hobbies and friends and social life, like it's basically a part-time job. It does take, I'd say anywhere from like 5 to 30 hours a week depending on what I'm filming, how many videos I'm filming, how much they need to be edited. If it's a really big project and it takes me several hours to do, I have several hours of footage to go through. And even if I edit it down to a 20-minute video, you know, if I spend like 5 hours doing something, I need to go through that 5 hours of footage and not only rewatch it, but like edit it down. Like it is time consuming. It's not difficult, but it is time consuming. I do love it. Like I wouldn't change it. I'm doing this by choice. And if I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it. So I'm not complaining. Like it's great and it's something I'm choosing to do, but it is a time constraint issue sometimes. So just try to film as much as you can in the beginning. I think I went off on a tangent there, but what I meant to say was I filmed 4 videos to come to California. I left on a Friday night, so I had one post Friday at 5 while I was on the plane, one post Monday while I was still here, so I posted, what's today, Tuesday, posted yesterday. I have one posting Friday when I get back because it's Minnesota winter and I can't film when I get home during the week because it's going to be dark. And lighting is still very much an issue for me. So, you know, I need something post Friday. And then I wanted something for that next Monday. I fully intend to film over the weekend. I have to because I need something for that next Friday. But I didn't want the pressure of like absolutely having to film, especially coming home from a trip. I need to unpack. I need to like catch up on work. There's just so many things that I need to do before I can film. Like, you know, as much as I love YouTube and as much as it is basically a part-time job for me, it's also an elective. And like I need to make sure my actual job, the one that's giving me an income to pay my rent and my bills, is taken care of before YouTube's taken care of, that sort of thing. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that the pressure wasn't super intense and that I had something to film or something to show Monday when I get back. And then while I'm here, as far as coming up with content and like videos to film, basically just film everything. Film your whole life. Film everything you do. Most of my videos are crafts, but I do a lot of travel videos. Personally, it's content that I like to watch, especially if I haven't been somewhere before. I like to watch people's prep videos and packing videos and what I wear and what's in my bag and what I brought. People who've been there before, people who haven't been there before, and they're guessing and then they're like, well, that was a mistake. But if you haven't been somewhere before, it's really nice to be like, okay, well, she used to live there and she visits every year. Like, she's packing super light in a suitcase for a weekend in California, but maybe that's all I need. And you know what? I didn't even wear all the shirts I packed in my video. You know, I packed really light because I wanted to keep some space in my suitcase and I didn't even use everything. So yeah, definitely it's possible. Like you don't need to overpack, but watching content from people who've been there before on what to pack, I find very helpful. So I think maybe you guys will find it helpful too. So I filmed that and I post it and it's another video. So if you're like looking for inspiration and struggling, especially when you're first starting out, like it's tough because all of your ideas and everything, you either can't afford to do the really, really cool ones because you're just starting out, or you have that like little nagging doubt of like, well, everybody else has like done these great, amazing, high production videos and like, what can I offer? It doesn't matter. Just post your life. Like you're part of the YouTube package and people don't necessarily tune in to watch your craft. I mean, they might, but they also tune in to watch you and your personality. So as long as you are filming things that you are genuinely interested in and passionate about and have fun, your audience is going to see that and they're going to respond to that. And if you can throw in some helpful tips and tricks along the way, like what to pack, that's all the better. I also like to film while I'm on a trip, and this is honestly, I did this before YouTube. It's memories, like it's what I did. It's my family, my friends, just wanting to remember things. So I take a ton of pictures and I take a ton of video. When I first started YouTube, I was relatively private and didn't like sharing a whole lot of what I did on a trip, especially if it wasn't like, we're going to this amusement park and here are the rides, we're going here and this is the menu. Things that are more personal, like what I'm doing and my thoughts on the trip along the way. Getting better about that, but I figure like I'm filming it anyway. You know, maybe you guys are interested in seeing a place that you've either used to be or have visited yourself, or maybe you've never been and you just kind of want to see what it looks like in the video. Maybe you just want to see my experiences. Maybe you don't care and you just have it on for background noise. But whatever the reason, like if you're interested in seeing it, like why not post it? So I'm getting better about that, and I do like to post like the content of my trip, just because it's like a little weird to post like what I'm packing, what I'm bringing, what's in my bag for this trip, and then not share the trip. Like it's a little weird. So I'm getting better about like sharing the trips, and I usually do. But that's just something that, you know, for me, it's almost more natural to do the packing videos than it is to like share the experiences on the trip, especially because a lot of them are family and friends. And while I love YouTube, like I've been doing it for 2 years and I watch a ridiculous amount of YouTube, like I'm a content creator and I'm definitely a content consumer. A lot of people in my family aren't and would prefer to not be on the camera. So I want to be really respectful of that and make sure that I'm not filming people that don't want to be on my channel. I work really hard not to do that, but that also requires a lot of editing when you're spending the weekend with family and friends, and that's your whole weekend. You're visiting family and friends in another state. It's hard to get enough content for an interesting video that they're not in, because like the whole point of it is seeing them. So I'm not going to go off for a day and be like, okay, I'm just going to go film by myself. Like I want to be here and see them. So it's a fine balance. I would say that's the only hard part, is like enjoying the trip and maximizing your time with them, but then also maybe trying to find content for video. So again, not actually difficult, just like time consuming. So yeah. And let's see, what else? Where else was I? So why I post when I do, how to post, you know, just use the scheduler. It's great. Get as many videos in the hopper as you can to get ready to go, because you never know what's going to happen, and maybe you can't film in advance, and then just film everything and then decide later on if you want to turn it into a video or not and post it, or if you're just going to keep it like private videos, like this was a great day, I loved it, and these are just going to stay memories for me. That's fine too, but you know what, you've already got them, you filmed them, they're on your phone and they're yours to keep. Then you're not gonna lose them. You don't have to post them to YouTube. You can just keep them private, but then at least you have them. So those are my personal tips that I think answer most of the questions I've been getting regarding, you know, I think young, I keep saying young, not young, young, old, whatever, but newer YouTubers that are starting out and just have questions about how to post, when to post, why to post, what to post. I would also say one very last tip. I have predominantly a DIY crafts channel, but unless you are like either super ridiculously passionate about it, or you're planning on making multiple channels, which I'm not. Like I have one channel, it's a lot of work, probably not going to branch out from there. But some content creators have multiple channels, and it's like amazing because I know the amount of work that goes in there. But if you get to the point where YouTube is just actually your job, maybe you can swing it. I have a full-time job, I can't swing it. But each channel has a very specific niche. Or maybe they just have one channel, but it's a very specific, like there's only this on this channel. Like I'm making something up. Like say it's like tapping a sheet of aluminum foil with a hammer. Like say that's a thing. Like every video I tap aluminum foil with a hammer. I'm not going to show a video about like the time I swam with dolphins, because that has nothing to do with the channel. The channel is so incredibly specific. All of my videos can be tapping aluminum foil with a hammer, like for example's sake. I didn't want to box myself into that, so my channel is mainly DIY crafts tutorials, but also a bit about my life, a bit about me and what I do, and that, you know, sometimes includes travel, sometimes includes staying home and watching Netflix on the couch. Like, it's just whatever I'm doing. So my channel is not just DIY crafts, it's like DIY crafts and me. So unless you are like 100% this is the only thing I am going to do on my channel, like period, don't set it up that way, because if you ever want to do anything else, it is kind of difficult to like branch out and rebrand. Like your you know, your audience or everyone who's tuning in to see your videos is tuning in for a reason. So if you're like, this is all I do, I tap aluminum foil with hammer all day every day, you get the aluminum foil tapper enthusiasts all subscribed, and then you go on a trip and you start posting all about your trip and the dolphins and the volcanoes you're hiking and everything else. If the people, like, they only wanted to see you tap hammers, they're not going to be happy. Versus if you set up a channel of like, hey, I'm a aluminum foil tapping enthusiast, but I also do all these things, they know what they're getting. They don't feel that you're like changing your content or just coming out of left field, out of nowhere. Like, it's part of your content, it's part of your channel. So that would be a tip that I would say too, is like make your channel slightly more broad than maybe you're originally thinking, unless you were specifically going into it with a very solid, like, this is what I'm going to do, this is all I'm going to do, I'm going to be the best at this, that's the only content I'm going to create, and I'm going to use it day one, I guess, as a business rather than as a creative outlet, which, you know, for me, honestly, YouTube was kind of a creative outlet. The fact that eventually you can monetize and, you know, maybe make a little bit of money from it if your channel grows, awesome, bonus, great. That'd be great. But for me, it's more a creative outlet. It's things that I like to do. It's things I want to share. If it ever turns into something that I could support myself on, oh my God, that'd be amazing. Like, that would be awesome. And you guys would get much better videos because I would be able to spend a lot more time on them, because it'd be my full-time job instead of my part-time job, in addition to my full-time job. But until that day comes to pass, it's really just a creative outlet for me and a way to interact with all of you via comments and DMs and just everything else. And it's been really great and exciting and rewarding, and I love it. So I'm going to keep continuing it. But yes, those are my tips. Don't lock down your channel to one niche. Film everything, then decide what you want to post. Film as much in advance as possible. Use the scheduler and post consistently. I don't know, I didn't count. As I said, that was maybe like five or six tips. I know it was more than 4. But hopefully you guys found that helpful. I'll link my Instagram down below as always. And thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.